What's up, everybody? It's your main man, Ken, 3 times. And today we have a very special guest, and I'm doing something I haven't done on my channel in a very long time, and that is an interview. I am interviewing a quite prominent anime YouTuber slash legend in the making. You know what I'm saying? I got Jaw Makes Nerds out here. Introduce yourself to the audience, Jaw. How you doing, buddy? Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So Ja here has about 10,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, and he is basically interested in talking about anime, manga, introspection, life. So that's what we're gonna get into. We're gonna get into talking about anime, manga, uh, spirituality and religion, life, um, just self improvement, most importantly, because this is a self improvement channel, and so we're gonna get some. Hopefully, God willingly, today we're gonna get some good self improvement tips from this guy, and yeah. So first off, I'd like to just crack. I just like to start off like the interview with a introductory question. What do you think the Job Makes Nerd channel values the best, and what do you think, if you were to summarize your channel in a few sentences to somebody, because we don't have much time nowadays, and everybody likes instant gratification, like that snapping, I need that now stuff. What would you say is your channel's values and your channel's core mission summarized to somebody?
Um. First off, that's a beautiful question. If I was to say what I think my channel's message is, the Job Makes Nerds channel or the brand, uh, I kind of had to get into something else first, but I'm gonna make it all connect. My original username was Job Makes Music. My first purpose in life, I consider, is to be a musician. And the reason I chose that name, Job Makes Music, is because it translates to God makes music. And my message with my art is that we are God's song. So the Job Makes brand as a whole is really just supposed to connect everything back to that oneness and that understanding of what God is, because God is all things. So, I want to have eventually, Job Makes Music be a thing, Job Makes books, Job Makes cooking, Job Makes nerdies, whatever it is. I'm always going to connect everything I do in life back to God. I have to. So that is the mission with it for me.
Okay, very interesting, very interesting. I think that's definitely resonating with one of the founders of the Hasidic Jewish sect. Like, what he would do is he would go around the city, he would go around the places, and he would basically, what his personal view is, and what my personal view is as well, is that things can be reconciled with God if they choose to, and if it aligns with their free will. Now, I think that if you want to be separated from God, if you want to be on your own, then that's completely fine. But to people who choose to be one with God, then God will find a way, and there will be a willful way in order for that to happen. And so, I think what you said resonated deeply with what I've been researching, and that is to find ways to reconcile things with God and find things to connect things with God more, because like that view that you have, that everything is God and that all is God and stuff like that, it's called panentheism. And so I just wanted to let you know that I think panentheism is more of like a end goal. It's more of like an end goal, and it's more of like a product of something, rather than I always say a theology and stuff like that. Because the thing about panentheism is that panentheism is an idea that everything can be God and everything has a connection to God and stuff like that. And so I think when you realize that everything has the potential to connect with God, and everything has the potential to be one with God, so long as they choose it and so long as they're one with it, I think that's how you reconcile the two. You know what I'm saying? But my
I wholeheartedly agree.
yeah, I think that definitely covers the topic. So your whole purpose and your value of your channel is similar to mine, and where you want to reconcile things in life with God, and you want to basically connect things with God more, as God is basically a source, and he is an energy that we must connect with, and we must infuse our energies with. And so I think that's a pretty good place to start in this interview. I think my next question will be, um basically, I asked you this question on your 10K subscribers, but I don't think you answered it. But I'll ask you it again. Which anime
Okay.
character do you think wasted his potential, and which anime character do you think completely depleted and used up his potential to the max?
I thought I did, but I apologize if I didn't, but I swear I didn't mean to do that. But my answer for most wasted potential, I would have to go with Ace. And repeat the end of the question one more time for me, but I believe my answer is Gohan.
Oh, so you think my question was that which anime character do you think used his potential to the max?
Yeah, I would say Gohan. And the reason I say that is because of even though that new movie was super trash, they did maximize his potential. Now Gohan with the new Gohan Beast form is described as the strongest warrior in the multiverse, which is what I believe he always has been and should be. You know what I'm saying? Like it was pretty much confirmed ever since the very beginning of the series that when he gets pissed off, he has more power available to him than Goku does. So if Goku's the strongest around and Gohan is stronger than him, Gohan should be the strongest person in the multiverse, logically speaking. So I think that even though that new movie didn't go in the best narrative direction, it did its job with making Gohan the strongest again.
Yeah, of course, and
And
I think
the
that's the
most
whole
wasted
purpose.
potential is definitely Ace.
Most wasted potential is definitely Ace. I'd have to agree with you. Like, I mean, the thing about Ace is that Oda wrote Ace to die before we even were introduced to him. You know, so
Yeah,
so like I would definitely agree with you. Like, I think Ace was definitely like Porcus D Ace was definitely wasted potential and stuff like that. And I think that basically uh why Ace was such wasted potential is because he was basically like I was asking people what's the opposite of plot armor, and a lot of people say plot development, and that's what Ace pretty much did. He had the plot development taken onto him and stuff like that, and so like his whole purpose was just to develop Luffy and to be a stronger character and stuff like that, and
yeah,
and
pretty
instead
much.
of him being his own character, instead of him having his own arc and stuff like that. And even
And it makes sense because I feel like you would have to for a character like Luffy, the only way for him to like start taking things seriously enough for him to get to the level that he needs to be is for him to experience a loss like that. Because sadly, that is just one of the inevitabilities of life, is growth and change. And, at least in the beginning, one of the ways that you have to learn that is with a loss. So I feel like I appreciate how, Ace's death was handled in Marineford, but also simultaneously, I really love how Luffy is now, because I believe that it epitomizes, just what the purpose of life is in the first place, which is just to find joy through that trauma and through that grief and through that pain. And I believe that, Luffy's evolution in his strength in Gear 5 is literally just a testament to that fact of life, is that, the power is in the joy.
the power is in the joy for sure, and I think that's why they call him Joy Boy, right? and
Exactly.
and so I think I think this is something that basically I couldn't expound upon more and stuff like that. And I think I you could definitely shed more light to it because I see that you're a lover and believer of Christ just like I am. Basically, I was talking to Soul about this. I was talking about how one of the seven deadly sins is joy, and he's like, "How can being joyful be sinful? How can being happy be sinful and stuff like that?" And like I was trying to explain to him that these things are malleable. Like when Jesus spoke in parables, yes, but many things in the Bible need to be expounded upon more on your own time and on your own accord. And so I was explaining to him that what sinful joy looks like to me may not be sinful joy to you. What sloth looks like to me may not be sloth to you. Like for somebody, for example, I do 50 push-ups. I try to do 50 push-ups as my workout regimen, right? That could be lazy to somebody who's been working out for years, but that could be a lot to
Real.
somebody who's just started working out, you know?
That's 100. I feel that. I definitely hear what you're saying with that.
So my question to you is that okay, so you said it was all about the joy. How do you distinguish between uh holy joy and sinful joy?
Because you could, I mean, for me, it's a feeling. And the
Yeah.
reason I say that is because like whenever I know it's God telling me something, I just instantly just get like a happy tear in my eye. I don't know how to explain it. Like I always get brought to tears, but I always know that I'm crying because I'm so happy, like because I feel that presence, if that makes any sense. But I feel like you can differentiate them by how they make you feel. Because if you're doing something that's sinful and you have conscious awareness of self, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna know it by how you feel about it. You know what I'm saying? Because God and your angels are gonna first communicate with you through your emotions. You know what I'm saying? Like people, I think a lot of people don't get that the thought verse or some of the things that you think aren't necessarily your thoughts, you know? Like 9 times out of 10, that's an outside source influencing you to think a certain way. Even if you want to say it's just like TV or social media or whatever, if you don't want to say it's spiritual, even if we go that route, it's something outside of you that's influencing your consciousness. So,
Yeah.
like, I feel like a lot of people will eventually understand that that is a spiritual warfare, first and foremost.
Oh yeah, of course, definitely spiritual warfare. You know, and like and what would you say is the biggest weapon that is being used in the spiritual warfare?
In my personal opinion, right now, it's social media. I think so. I was just talking about positive about how I feel like social media is like the downfall of humanity in a lot of ways. And it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a bad thing because in a lot of ways it's helped out. But in comparison to like literally when I was a kid, which is like I guess a long time ago now, but not really that long ago. I'll say like 10 years ago. We still went outside every day, bro. Like we would be playing Beyblade at the park. We'd be, walking miles and miles to go to 7-Eleven. Like we make 7-Eleven like an Adventure Time GTA mission for the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like little kids do not do that anymore. They just be on Roblox and social media, TikTok all day. Like it's not the same.
The
So I feel
internet
like social media
the
is
internet
taking
can
away a
definitely
lot of that joy of life, yo.
the internet has definitely been like a huge weapon that has been of mass destruction that has been used for the spiritual warfare, because the thing about the internet is that anybody can get on and claim that they're a scholar, or claim that they're a well-versed individual in the scriptures, or just claim that they're a man of God, or claim that they're just a knowledgeable person, and fool a bunch of people. Like I've seen this happen countless amounts of times, and it's just like you get a bunch of charlatans and a bunch of, well, this is how I feel, therefore it dictates like how everybody else should feel kind of people. And I think when you do stuff like that, and I think when you try to like be a dictator essentially, it it takes away from what social media was meant to be about. And it was meant to be about, it sounds like a contradiction, but a team of leaders. You know, but here's the thing about that though. The problem with a team of leaders is that you gotta learn when to follow eventually. You know, you gotta learn when to be a
I agree.
follower. And so like so this is where the dilemma comes in. A lot of people are like, okay, so we can't just be leaders, we have to be followers as well. Well, who do we follow? And then a lot of people will be like, you need to follow me. And a lot of people will be like, you need to follow me. And a lot of people will be like, you need to follow me. And and it just goes in this big cesspool where people want to be the next most followed person on the platform instead of being the most powerful and most impactful, most real and genuine person on the platform, which may not translate into subscribers and translate into views and translate into even lucrativity, but it translates into authenticity, I feel like.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, G. I feel you. I definitely agree with that, man. I think that the only thing that matters is being who you are, because that's what God made you to be. So that's why I try to embody that first and foremost. I'm not chasing numbers, you know what I'm saying? Like every time I see somebody that's like doing what's trendy or like bothering people in Walmart and stuff like that, like anybody can literally go outside and do that tomorrow and have 1 million followers. You can go be a nuisance and get the whole world's attention in less than a day. I don't want to do that, bro. I don't want to be known as somebody that, plays around in the devil's playground. I know what we're here for, and I know that this world is a test. So I'm gonna pass that test, man. I'm doing my best to embody Christ to the best of my ability. And yes, I'm a sinner, and I definitely fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I want to make sure that I do my best to do as much as I can to lead people toward Christ and lead people toward just whatever they define as what God intends them to do. You know what I'm saying? Whatever that is, like, as long as you're doing what you're here for.
Yeah, Definitely, bro. And even Christ himself, like, what I've noticed is that a lot of people are too attached to this material world. They're way too obsessed with the end
Facts.
times. Like they're way too obsessed with like, oh, this is happening in the end times. That's happening in the end times. The end times. The end times. The end times. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. But here's the thing: what Jesus basically was talking to us about, and what Christ was whole message and whole thing he was trying to bring to the table was, is that you don't need to wait for the end of the world to tap into what I have to offer you. You can do it
Facts.
today, you know? Because, for
Facts.
example, Christ said in the Gospels that the kingdom of God does not come with any signs or people saying, look here or see there. For verily the kingdom of God is within you. And he also said to his
Facts.
disciples that there are some of you among you that will not taste death until they see the Son of Man return with his kingdom. Meaning, what he was trying to say is that there are some of us who follow Christ, and there's some of us who embody him and study him and learn from him, that will experience this inner bliss and this inner spiritual joy, like you talked about, and this inner spiritual fulfillment that will represent and be characterized by him coming back of his kingdom.
I wholeheartedly agree. I feel like there's no denying it. It was written, just the fact that it was written, it sanctifies it. And I've been seeing a lot of videos on Twitter of like people saying sadly that their houses would burn down. God bless those people. I pray for, healing over those situations. But the one thing I would take away from those videos that would make me emotional is they would be like, my Bible is fine. They would show everything else around the room is destroyed, but their Bible is okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like there's power behind that, yo.
Yeah, exactly, for sure. Um, do you know anything about Kabbalah?
Yeah, I didn't mean to say sadly that was a misspeech, but sadly I just don't know too much about it because the only thing I know about it is from Ariana Grande. Like apparently, like I was studying her wiki one time and I found out that she was raised in that, so I like started learning about it and it seems really chill. Like I want to know more about it. That's all I've met.
Oh, okay, cool. I would say the best place to start personally is starting with the book of Psalms and stuff like that. So, like, recently I've
Oh,
been trying to connect with the tree of life more and trying to connect more with the branches and just more of the macrocosm and the microcosm. And personally, I just want to open up a conversation, stuff like that. Like, I've been using the Psalms to basically elevate myself spiritually with these things and stuff like that. And so, how do we shift the masses, and how do we shift people to understand that these scriptures and these things are because in the Quran, in the Holy Quran, it says that the disbelievers say that the prophetic stories are just stories, tales of the ancients. So already is hinting at right there that if you think, oh, this is just a story about the past, then you're very naive and stuff like that. And so, how do we
yeah.
basically push the masses towards the present moment? Not even just in the scripturally speaking, but spiritually speaking as well. Because even in spirituality, you remember the whole December 21st incident?
Yes.
Yeah, man. That's what I'm trying to get at, bro. Like a lot of people focus on December 21st, or this is what's gonna happen in the external world, or this is gonna happen in the world, or this is what's happening in the world. When at the same time, people will be like, "Oh well, the world is terrible, and the world's a terrible place." So if you know the world is a terrible place, and if you know the world is a test, and you know the world is an illusion, why do you care so much about what happens in it? Why do you care so much about
Right?
the events that go on in it? You know, because even Christ himself said, if you find that the world hates you, that's good because the world hated me first. You know.
Yeah, facts, yo. Facts. Talk that talk.
So yeah, I would
There's
say
nothing
like,
else that can be said better than
what would
that,
you say
man.
is
There's
the
nothing.
remedy for what would you say is the remedy for not being in the present moment? What would you say is the remedy for staying in the present moment?
Hey, I'm gonna shout out Christina Grimmie because she's one of my main influences, and I believe
Oh,
now that
rest in
she's one of
peace.
my angels, and she's heavy on my mind, every day for real. But recently one of the things that stuck with me from her journey in this plane was a tattoo that she got on her arm that reads "All is vanity."
And
And I was
chasing
reading the
after
book
the
about
wind.
her
That's from
life.
Ecclesiastes.
Yeah, facts. But she spoke heavy on that, man. She knew all about that. She knew that this world was just physical and that, flesh is flesh, but God is God. So just I would say just remember all is vanity, bro. Just remember that you're not taking none of this with you, when you pass on. When we transition, all we have is God. So that should be your focus in this world, in my opinion.
That's beautiful, man. I just wanted to let you know, bro. Like, I'm very proud of like what you have accomplished so far and what you have achieved. Because like in this past, like I want to say like half a year that I've been your server has really given me like a place to stay and a place to express myself and a
Aw.
place for me to like really be who I am as a person. So yeah, what do you think is the next like? So you have a Discord server that I might link in the description if people are interested in it. But
Thank you. I appreciate that.
what is the end goal for your server? What is the end goal for the John Makes Nerd like brand and stuff like that?
Man, I just want it to be a safe space for nerds of all identities. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I feel like I've always been in this culture. Like this is just who I am. You know what I'm saying? Anime has always been a part of my life since I was very, very, very little. So it's just who I am. But I know it's not something that everyone is comfortable with expressing. So I just want to be able to let people have somewhere they can just openly be themselves and express what they are and not have to feel judged by that or like they're not allowed to exist. I definitely can relate to that. And my main goal with my social media journey is just to give everyone a place where they feel they can exist equally, sincerely.
That's beautiful, man. Uh, I I think that's a very beautiful thing. So is that the vision that you got for? I was gonna ask you this question, but I think it may be similar. Is that the vision that you have for this year?
I think that this year I definitely would love to see the server's growth, and I'm excited for its growth. Like we have a lot of dope stuff planned. I'm gonna keep doing these game giveaways, man. We got a whole bunch of Steam codes that we about to be giving out. We about to be playing. If I can speak, we can play Power World together now because Power World is out, and I've been having a really dope time on this game. So I'm excited to see what we do with the Discord server this year. But I don't really think this year is gonna be where Discord is my main focus. I'm gonna put like 150,000% strictly into my YouTube videos this year because I feel like you said, with the growth that we've seen in the past 6 months, if we keep taking this seriously and keep dropping at a decent rate, we could really get up there this year, man. So I'm excited to see what the YouTube does.
Yeah, of course, of course, of course. And okay, so I got three more questions, and we're gonna wrap it up. Basically,
All right.
uh, it's I don't want to take too much of your time, but
I appreciate you, G.
but basically, my next question to you is, um, how, because my name is Ken, and it's based around like Tokyo Ghoul and stuff like that. What do you think?
Fact.
What do you think? Tokyo Ghoul can teach us about modern day? And anime in general. Like, what do you think anime in general can? Because you're obviously very passionate about anime. What do you think animes like Tokyo Ghoul and One Piece and even Naruto and Jujutsu Kaisen and stuff like that? What do you think all these animes can like do for us to help us in our growth as individuals and stuff like that? How do you think these help us with our spiritual growth? Why do you think why do you think we care so much about anime? Why do you think people should care about anime? Basically, is what I'm trying to ask you.
I think a lot of people just see themselves in a lot of the character struggles and not in the cringy like main character syndrome way, but in a like, yo, like that's deep as hell. Not like I definitely understand what this person was going through when they went through that. Like to give an example of from Naruto, a character I know a lot of people, including myself, relate to is Gaara. And Gaara's not the MC or anything like that, but he has a very tragic backstory where he's just neglected, pretty much in the same way Naruto was, but worse because he was beat on and like accused of all this stuff and like all this crazy stuff. His uncle tried to kill him. You feel me? So like it's dark, but a lot of people can relate to stuff like that. So I think that just anime allows people an avatar to give themselves to see that they can overcome their own struggles, in my opinion.
No, definitely. I have to agree with you. I think anime is definitely like almost like a suit of armor that you wear and stuff like that. And it's
Yeah,
like
definitely. It's
I
definitely like a yes.
if our
I could
religions
agree to that.
if our religions are like a tailor, because like Ice Cube mentioned this way when he was talking about why he's a Muslim and stuff like that. Ice Cube said that Islam feels like a tailor-made suit, and I have to agree. It does definitely feel like a tailor-made suit and stuff like that. You have to take on an identity in this world and take on a a profession and a religion and just an overall identity in this world and stuff like that. And so I would say if our religions are supposed to be a tailor-made suit, I would say that our passions and our pastimes and what we like to do for fun should be like our suit of armor that protects us against the clutches of adulthood, you know.
I
And
definitely
so
can agree to that. I definitely can agree to that. And
so
I saw this Instagram post about this kid that apparently I don't know if it was hornets or bees, but this kid basically almost died because he got stung by like hundreds and hundreds of bees. And in the clip, when he's in the hospital, he goes, I think he's like, my name's Andrew, but you can call me Vegito. And
yeah,
they
I know exactly
explained
what
the
you're
only,
talking about. The kid who believed that he was
yeah, yeah,
Vegito and stuff like that in order to like
yeah,
break through the bees.
literally,
And like that tenacity
literally,
and that willpower actually translated into something real. You know? Like that
literally,
translated into
yeah,
something
literally,
real, you know? And so like
yeah,
that's
that's
just the power of willpower, you know? Like I personally like when it comes to like the Trinity, I don't necessarily, obviously as a Muslim, I don't believe that God exists as three people. But what I do believe in is that there are three modes of existence that God definitely connects to us with. Like God exists above you, in front of you, and within you. And that can be
true.
categorized by three things. And not only that, but God is like the source, right? But he can also be consciousness, and he can also be willpower. You know, the consciousness would be Christ consciousness, and the willpower would be the Holy Spirit. You know, and so
Yeah,
I would basically I was basically just trying to tell people like uh when you're tapping into your willpower, you're tapping into an energy that God uh connects to us with. You know, God connects with to us through our willpower and through what we find to be willful in this life, because will is such a integral part of religion, and it's such an integral part of things, because you 9 times out of 10 you ask somebody, why does God allow evil, why does God allow bad things, the 9 times out of 10 the answer you're going to get is because of free will. And so yeah, uh I'm gonna give you two more questions, and then I think I'll be satisfied with what we've done today. My second
definitely.
last question is this: what video games did you grow up playing? Because recently I just bought this game called Jet Set Radio Future that I grew up playing and I grew up enjoying and stuff like that. So what video games did you grow up playing, and what would you say to like your younger self now that you're older and you're much wiser than you are before when you're younger?
Oh man, I grew up with them plug and plays with the auxiliary cords with like SpongeBob on it and shit. That's like
Oh
some of the first
wow,
games I
that's
remember.
OG. That's OG.
The VTech, bro. I used to stay on the VTech playing the Barney game and like uh what's his name? Bob the Builder, like all those games.
Yeah.
Uh I had this SpongeBob PC game I used to stay on where it was like you had to make a Krabby Patty, but you had to go all over Bikini Bottom to get shit for it. That was lit.
Oh my god,
Uh
bro. Delivery dilemma. This man
yeah,
knows
bro.
about Delivery Dilemma. That's crazy. That's a flash
Yo, that
game,
game is so
bro.
peak.
This guy knows
Yo, I
about
used to live.
Delivery Dilemma.
I had the CD for that shit, bro. I used to live on that shit, bro. Uh, the Tony Hawk Pro Skater games. I played a lot of video games, man. But if I had to pick one as my favorite, it's probably Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 2.
Oh, I had that game.
That's the game. I literally broke my PlayStation 2 because I played that game so much. It just overheated, like never cut on again.
Oh, you saying you
And
didn't
that's the
have a
only I never even took the
say
disc
you didn't
out.
have a freaking you didn't have a memory card, so you had to keep it on all day.
I'm telling you, yo, yeah, you couldn't cut it off sometimes. Facts, yeah, facts. If you didn't have a memory card, bro, you had to keep your shit on when you went to school, bro.
Yeah, I
One day
had
I
a memory.
came back, my
I was
shit was
fortunate
hot.
enough to have a memory card.
Nah, yeah, that's a blessing, G. That's a blessing, G. My PS2's no more.
I still have my PS2.
W.
But yeah, okay. So yeah, so my second last question is my second last question is what would you say to your younger self? Like if what is the biggest piece of advice you give to your younger self?
Oh yeah, I say just keep going, bro. Like I just did not like living when I was little. You know what I'm saying? But like, there's no reason to feel that way. Like now that I'm old enough to understand all the shit I was going through, there was no reason to feel that way. So I just say keep going. Like, don't take shit so personal. And like, just stay 10 toes down. You know? Like, remember who you are. Remember your name. Remember your name. Your name will always tell you your meaning, your purpose, who you are in this life. You know what I'm saying? If you know that, then nobody can really fuck with you.
Remember your name. Do you know that song?
Nah, you gotta put me on to that, bro.
That's Mario Judah.
The only song I know is the I Miss the Rage, bro. I never listened to him. I feel like I missed out.
He was alright, but yeah, bro. My last and final question is simply this: what do you think is the key to improving yourself little by little every aside from consistency? What do you think is the key to improving a little by little every single day?
Uh, Prayer. I say you gotta pray to stay motivated because when you're doing something like this or anything in general for real, like it's gonna be a lot of days where you don't feel like getting out of bed to do it. But if you really want to be your own boss, bro, then you just gotta like just do it. Like you just gotta stay dedicated. And I say that the best way to stay dedicated is with prayer, in my opinion. Because if I write something down or I talk to God about it, it's gonna make me more adamant about taking it seriously and getting it done. You know what I'm saying? So like for me, I'll always like first down, I'll manifest it by writing it. And then if it's something that's really important to me, I just pray on it. And then the next day you just, you take the steps that's in alignment with your prayer. So let's say you're working on being a content creator. You really gotta make sure that you investing in your editing and your software, your equipment, making sure that you really are doing this at a professional industry quality level, or at least bringing something unique enough to where you can gain yourself an audience. You know what I'm saying? Like you just really gotta like stand 10 toes down and just do that every day.
Yeah, of course, bro. Prayer definitely helps, and that's why we pray. That's why we as Muslims pray 5 times a day, right? Because we have to keep like a constant connection and constant communion with our Lord and stuff like that. And why most importantly, like that's important is because um you need clarity, and like life and stuff and prayer. I feel like gives the best amount of clarity and the best amount of looking at things at the bigger picture and looking things at what is meant to be done. I think definitely prayer provides that for you and stuff like that. Prayer definitely does provide a lot for you, and I think that's a really beautiful way to end off the interview. Like to always pray to the Lord, always pray to God and stuff like that for guidance and for example, like I when I pray, I say Allahumma inni asaluka al huda wa tuka wa lafafa wal gina. Basically, what that means is, oh Allah, I beseech you for piety, for no, for guidance, piety, chastity, and contentment. And so,
That's fire.
and so, all those things, I feel like contribute and encompass what we like from God and stuff like that. And so, yeah, bro. This has been the Ja Makes Nerds interview. I'm really excited and I'm really happy to finally have released this for you guys because I haven't released an interview in a long time. definitely check out his YouTube channel. The link will be in the description below, and he will also be the top pinned comment as well. So if you guys are interested in checking out his channel, he will be hopefully leave a comment on the video and stuff like that. And so yeah.
I definitely will.
All right. This has been Ken 3 times, and this has been the job. Any closing statements you'd like to give to the audience, John?
Thank you for the opportunity, man, and just thank you for being part of the community. Make sure y'all go subscribe to Ken, man. I appreciate you even asking me to do it, bro. For real. God bless you, G. I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, you're an
I
interesting
appreciate you.
person. I
Yeah.
just want to know a little bit more about you, and I think the people would want to know a little bit more about you too.
I appreciate that, G. Likewise, for real.
All right, peace out.
Peace, bro.